Today we're going to go on to chapter 2 of the book. We did chapter 1 last week, and all we're trying to do is just learn how to do high performance. Whatever level of performance we have, wherever we find ourselves in our business, in our career, our work, whatsoever is important to us, we can perform at a higher level. And we just want to look at those factors, those gems that can help us, to perform at a high level. The book itself was done by Rasmus, going to look at 8 gold mines, of high performance, places where people have performed highly. And places like Kenya, where their people come out and take most of the golds in long distance running. Also a place in Ethiopia. He also went to Russia, where a lot of high performing long tennis players come from. He went to Brazil to look a place where a lot of high performing soccer players come from. And Odo was trying to learn from all these different places, including going to South Korea, where all the top performing golfers, come from, just to see what differentiates these people. What's it that marks them out? Why come that people that perform highly come from these specific areas and not in any other place? Why are they concentrated in these places? Last week, we looked at chapter 1, and it just says that it's no secret, right? Not everybody can perform in everything, right? But if you do have, the basic potential to perform in a particular area, you can do better. You can increase your performance level. You can take it up to world class, if you have some other factors in your life, right? That's what we looked at. It just says that even though he spent his time looking at all of this, what it comes out to is the fact that, high performance is everywhere. Talent is everywhere. It's just a function of what people do with it. Sometimes people try to force feed it, by going into something that they don't have the basic acumen or potential for, and that is like a failure. Even before it starts, they might be able to do it, but they won't be able to perform at a high level compared to people that have the acumen, the abilities, the potentials for it. It's like going to compete, compete with people in their own field. You're out of your own league. You're going to compete with people in their own league. The famous example is that one of a fish. If you're going to judge a fish by climbing a tree, that fish is going to look stupid all its life. The fish is not built, to climb trees. The fish is built to swim. Right now, it can now swim at different levels of performance, right? You can enable it to go to world-class performance in swimming because the basic body structure is meant for that. Right? The same way for a monkey, you're not going to judge a monkey by swimming. He might be able to swim somehow to save his life, but not necessarily swim at a high performing level because his basic feature, acumen, potentials are not for swimming. A fish, if you talk about testing or trying the monkey as far as climbing a tree or climbing something is concerned, then you can talk about increasing his level of performance in climbing, because that is his own league, that is his own work, right? You can improve his performance along that line, and those are the things we shared last week, from chapter 1. Today we're going to go to chapter 2, and the title of chapter 2 is chapter 2. The title of chapter 2 is a book. The title of chapter 2 is that what you see is not what you get. What you see is not what you get, because someone has the basic acumen potential for something does not mean that that person is going to come out as that, right? That person might not come out as that at all. The person might come out as it, but not be able to perform at a high level. Sometimes it looks like, oh, this person is suited for this, but they don't rise to their potential for different reasons. We're going to look at some of it today, and we'll be looking at it as we go through the book. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at, What makes people not to perform? What can we do about it? What is salvageable? What is not salvageable? What is a lost cause? And what is a salvageable position? Not in everything that we do, we're competing with people. We just need to get more out of what we do. We need to get more out of what we do. Not necessarily we're not all doing things are like in the Olympics. We just want to be able to get more value out of the things that we do every day. So that's a basic learning, understanding that we get out of this to get more bulk out of our daily engagement, our daily investment. That's what I'm hoping I will learn from this. That those that will learn it for top level competition, yeah, but we're all different. I'm going to bring up my slide here so that we can do a more structured discussion in in chapter 2 rather. So let me bring up my slide and we'll do that. So pretty much, yeah, chapter 2, like I say again, it says, what you see is not what you get. All that glitters is not gold, right? Sometimes big things are put in seemingly small package. Don't miss it. It's just to know what you look for so you can get the value that will benefit you, will help you. To have high performance, we must have a vision for it, from pretty much linking with what was shared in chapter 1 from last week. If you don't have a vision for high performance, if you can't see yourself performing at a high level, it will not be in your future, because you need something to awaken your spirit to push for it. High performance does not just come on a platter of gold, on a platter of gold, or on a platter of gold. It doesn't get served with silver spoon or gold spoon. There's a sacrifice to pay for it. And you got to have a why to do that. Otherwise, you won't do it, right? And that sacrifice needs to come from you, not a sacrifice someone else is going to push you to. Someone else can push you to, but they can only push you so far. Like it's typically would say, you can force the horse to the river, but you can't force the horse to drink. You can spray some water around the mouth of the horse, but the real quantity the horse needs, you can't force the horse to drink the water, right? So you gotta see it. You gotta see it. You gotta have a vision of high performance in your future. There's gotta be a magnet there in your future that's pushing you towards it. That's calling you to come to it. So you can pay the required price, the required sacrifice to make it come to pass. Right? You must believe it is possible for you. Right? You must have a hunger for it, right? You believe it's possible for you, but you must have a hunger for it. Something inside of you must be seeking for it, seeking to be fed, by that high performance. You know, uh, what I do, I go to bed doing it, I wake up doing it. People wonder how I get time to do all the things that I do. I get to do it because I'm hungry for it. I have a vision for it. I'm hungry for it. I'm hungry for the performance of the things that I do. I have a vision of a reach that I'm looking for. I have a vision of an impact that I'm looking for. And I keep on pressing, I keep on pushing towards that. Why do I devote this time to do this? Because I have a vision for the impact that this book club is going to have, it's having, and is going to have. I have a vision for it. I have a hunger for it. That keeps me paying the price to be here, every Sunday afternoon. That keeps me setting my schedule to cancel every other thing so that this can be possible. I stay at home on Sunday morning to prepare for this so that this can be possible. This is not a add-on to my life. This is one of the main things in my life. This is one of the things on my critical part. It's not a add-on. It's not something I do by the side. It's like a job for me. It's a dedicated part for me. It's one of the things my must do, as it were. So I pay the price for it because it's my life. This is what I do, right? Like someone would ask, what will I do otherwise? I said that. While I'm alive, I give myself to this because I believe this is what the Lord God will have me do. This is the one of the ways in which I'm going to leave my mark here when I'm gone. It's going to be my signature mark in life, in the sands of time. So I give my best to it, right?